It's the happy hour right here, Sirius XM Fly. I'm HB. Now, I've been talking about this probably. All right, so we've been doing a happy hour for 3 years. I've been talking about having Monica on the show for 3 years. I've been putting it into the universe. You know, happy hour crew and Fly family, your vision boards, I keep telling you, put them up. Let God give you the words that need to be put on your vision boards or any photos that He guides you to have. Put them up on your vision board, say your prayers, and allow them to manifest. And boom, it took 3 years, but she is here. My girl, my sister, my friend. I pray for her. I tell y'all that all the time. She is here. Monica, welcome to the happy hour. Woo!
Listen,
Girl.
first of all, it did not have to be 3 years.
It
If you would have
didn't.
called me yourself, it would have been 3 minutes. Okay? Nobody orchestrates and arranges me. You know I would have come.
You know what? Thank you for saying that. But you may share the same thing, and I was thinking about this with you. What I love about you and what I notice is that you're very honest and you're very private at the same time. And it takes a certain type to
I
be
don't
able to do
even know
that.
how that happened.
Okay.
It wasn't. So now it's become very obvious since the TV show that that's what happens. Because for a while, everybody was like, yeah, she everybody friend. You have to be careful. And then people realize, wait a minute. Everybody like her because you can't get nothing out of her. You know, if you share something with me, I haven't seen you since Code Red, but when we stood in that corner and talked, it stayed with me locked
too.
in that corner,
too.
period. So I think the mix of being old school and dealing with new school stuff, on top of the fact that I grew up with a mom that was a counselor and a mentor. She married to a Methodist minister. So I grew up watching the way that she did things. And when people came to her for counsel, there was zero discussion about it after. She didn't talk about the neighbor. She didn't hang up with her girlfriend. Man, she get on my nerves. All that chatty catty mess. I grew up seeing the complete opposite. So that's really why I'm the way that I am. And I'm private too for the protection of the people that didn't ask to be in this. My kids didn't ask to be in this. They didn't ask to be on this earth. So they definitely didn't ask to be in the middle of people's judgment and opinions. My mom didn't ask to be in it. My mama thought I was going to be a pediatrician. She didn't ask to be in this for sure. Oh, she really believed it. And now she thinks I'm going to be a pastor. I don't know.
I think so too.
Ah!
But we'll get into that.
Listen, he ain't through with me yet. I need a lot of work before then.
We all do. That's the best part about
I
it.
need a lot with this temper. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I just the way that I am is not something that I practiced. It's what it is because in my beliefs of being loyal and dedicated to people and loving to people, that comes with it. That level of that just ain't nobody's business. You know, I've had heartbreaks and things prior. Back in the day, you can't pull up where I said something about my boy's father or anybody before that being nasty or reckless. It's nobody's business. So, you know, I'm honest in how I made it through a lot of different things, but with respect to the people that have been involved in whatever facet of my life.
Has the loyalty ever backfired? And if so,
Of course.
How did you deal with it?
Of course. You deal with it by understanding that great things come with a cost. It's great to be loyal. Not to a fault where people are hurting you or running over you, because sometimes that's the other side of it too. People know she gonna stay down. She ain't going nowhere. She got my back. That happens, but that's a part of it. Because to me, the consequences of being disloyal are far greater. So that's just my own theory, my own take. And, you know, I've also mastered high and by when I know that somebody does not possess the same qualities. That was harder than anything. It's really hard for me to disconnect if I've been connected. You know, and so it just all comes with different costs and consequences, you know, but I will take what comes with being loyal over anything else.
When did you realize you had to get that high and by thing down to a science? Because this is science. I mean, you have to know, like, all right, and I'm going to say this, spiritually, you even have to know when when it's time for that high and by.
I know this is going to sound weird, but I was about 15.
That young?
Yes. And if you meet my daughter, Cindy, tell her, if you meet my
Cindy
daughter,
here,
she's
y'all.
5, and she's like, I don't know how. My girlfriend was going through something last week, and she's like, she called me. I'm like, are you crying? And she's like, girl, your daughter just called me. And she from up here. She's like, your daughter just called me. And she just asked me, Auntie, are you all right? And she's like, and I told her, yeah, I'm all right. She was like, well, I don't feel like you are, Auntie. Wow. It's just something that happens. And maybe it's just, like I said, mine came from my mother. Mm-hmm. My grandmother was a lot like my mother. I think maybe it's something that's hereditary too.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But at 15, I realized real quick.
Wow.
And I even adapted the ability. I can do a whole song with you, spend time around you, and you realize that I don't know anything but that her name is Monica and she sings. That's 15.
Wow. Monica's here hanging out in the happy hour. I told y'all it was going to happen. Sometimes things take time.
She could have called me.
I could have called, but we don't like being pests either.
Vision boys. You could have called me.
We don't like being pests either. We stay in our lane. We're really good at that. I know. But Monica's here.
I don't like asking for nothing either.
You just don't like asking for nothing, girl.
I'm working on it.
You just be like, I see you. I'm working on it. So, all right. Well, happy hour up next. Woman to Woman Wednesday with Monica. Monica is here. We are hanging out. Happy hour, Crew and Fly family. Woman to Woman Wednesday. The conversation here has shifted. And we're going to talk about the music. Obviously, we have to talk about the music because when I saw that Commitment was charting, I don't pay, just to be honest, as always, I don't pay a lot of attention to charts. I think because we've been in it for a minute, we understand how charts work. We understand, there's some things that go on behind the scenes. But so I don't put a lot into charts. But when I saw that your song was charting and I knew your situation of this time and not having all the thrills and the frills of these big gigantic labels behind it, I was like, shit, my girl done did it. She doing it. She doing it. She
you
doing
sound
it.
Like Tiny.
No,
she called me. She's like, hey, that's a motivation.
Yes.
That's a motivation, friend.
That
I
is
was like, really?
Yes, it is, because you have to get into a mindset, Monica, before you put this music out, knowing that you don't have, or put anything out, knowing that you may not have the finances, the support, and you get to a certain place sometimes with Satan try to step in and mess with you mentally and spiritually. What was your mindset going in before you put out Commitment?
I wanted to make sure that this record was true to R&B. Like I did play with some other sounds and feelings, but the most of Chapter 38 is like Miss Thing. You know how Miss Thing, my first album, I did do some other things. I had pop records, I had other, I had different mixes, but the base of it, Why I Love You So Much, Just One of Them Days, it was hip hop merged with R&B. It's that. And so my main goal was making sure that the songs were that way. I didn't think about the charts at all because I had accepted early on that it's a good possibility that if people aren't ready to receive it, timing is everything.
Yeah.
I know what I love. I know what I believe in. I know what type of music that I was born to create. That doesn't mean that that's what time it is in the atmosphere. And then this huge shift started happening. I went out on tour with Escape. We was in arenas, 40 cities almost, packed every night, straight R&B. And that really made me say, it is going to be all right. Because at first I was just like, it might not be the time, but that's not going to stop me. This is the kind of music that I love, and this is the kind of music that I'm going to make. Even no matter where I dibble and dabble, this will be what it is. And I just really took some time and started seeking out people that believed what I did. That was the hard part. Finding, now we got that core of Missy, JD, Dallas, we got the core.
Right there.
But the girls that did these songs, Nova, younger, from Florida, move around. It's like some real dope girls.
Really?
Yes. And they just got it. And when it came time for me to put the record out, this is when I say that me really being genuine with people over the years is one of the greatest reasons that I can sustain myself out here for real, because I was able to pick up the phone and ask questions from people that worked my first album when I was 13 years old. We still have relationships. I didn't burn bridges because I thought I was hot. I treated everybody with the same respect I wanted, always, from
So
beginning
important.
to now, till I leave here. That's required in my mind. So these people would pick up the phone and say, well, listen, this is not going to be easy. This is what it's going to cost you. But this is what it takes. And I would follow suit because I knew that I could trust a lot of this good advice and a lot of these people that did this for many years. Some are retired now, not even in the music business anymore. And we figured out that, you know what, it'll be a good time. I was on the television show, T.I. and Tiny Hustle. They decided to do the family, friends, merge it all.
Yeah.
So I was on the show, and I'm like, well, I wouldn't be on here and not let you guys see what it takes for me to go through this process. And so I dropped the record while we were going through the process on television. I'm like, let people see what it's really like. It's not easy.
It's not
I
easy.
want you to be prepared. I want you to know that you can do it, but it's not going to be easy.
Now, you know the title, in the midst of everything that was going on or was coming out, the title Commitment made everybody's eyebrows shift a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
why is my, like, I had a complete meltdown here on the
Did
show.
you?
Yes, girl,
What?
I was like, oh, I was going to call you. All right, that's when I wanted to reach out and call you. I'm like, I'm hearing Monica's doing this music. I'm hearing some issues going on. I'm like, none of this can be true. I don't want this to happen. Like, seriously,
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
root and pray for you. Like,
Yeah.
I just do. I like you see, going back
You
to
can
that.
feel when somebody got genuine love for you. It's easy. Well, it's easy for me. I walk in the room, you can feel the difference. Period. The end. When I was going through it, I'm like, I'm not going to change what I said in this record based on what's happening, because this is still how I feel. And I still love love. I still believe in love. None of that changed in the midst of what was happening for me.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Okay.
And so with me, I'm like, but commitment, this is who I am. This is what I want. It was funny because, like, Wendy and I were talking, and she was like, this is the best summer of my life. And we were laughing, and we were talking about hot girl summers. And I was like, listen, boo, I'm preparing for the winter. I'm working on recipes. I like this commitment thing. It's all for me.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just who I am. You know, so I was like, we're not changing it. And then one thing I never do is sensationalize what's happening in my real life for anything else that's going on. I would never put out a record about what's happening in my life when it's happening.
Okay.
That's too much.
That's too much.
I have too much love and respect for him too. You know, I just don't rock like that.
I always tell Sway, because Sway's not married, I say married people don't do that. And he's like, really? I was like, married people don't never talk about publicly what's going on at the time when it's going on. And I thank you for that confirmation.
Not when you really love
Yep.
or have loved somebody.
That's very true.
No.
All right. So I'm good to know. Thank you. Thank you. Monica's here hanging out in the happy hour. I reached out to Facebook. Yes, Facebook, family and friends at the happy hour with Heather B. I said, Monica's coming through. If you have some questions, drop them through. Good questions. And I got some good ones. So we'll answer those questions up next. All right. It's the happy hour HB with Monica hanging out, Sirius XM Fly. It's the happy hour right here, Sirius XM Fly. I'm HB hanging out with Monica. Support everything Monica. I don't care what it is. If Monica comes out with socks y'all don't like, just buy them. I don't care. Like, I have beef with you if you don't support Monica.
I am coming out with a kids' clothing line.
Are you?
Yes.
What's the
Cindy and
name
I
of
have
it?
been sitting down working on the ideas.
Okay.
Ties.
Really?
Yeah.
Spell it out.
TYES.
Okay, TYES.
Because my family ties are what keep me strong. And so we'll tie in a lot of different great things for boys and girls. Because when I'm shopping for my kids, I like they fly to match mine.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
get it when
yes.
people get themselves ready and you look back like, that's your baby. You know, I don't believe in that. And
That's real.
you know, the people say, oh, they grew out of stuff. Yeah. So do you. So did I. You know, it's I just want to have some really cute, incredible things
That's
for
dope.
kids, and I put it off years ago, and I end up having more. So I tied it all together.
And got it all together. All right, y'all got to support that too. Went to Facebook and said, hit me up with some good questions for Monica, because I told them you were coming through.
Okay.
And Jill hit me up and she said, HB, ask Monica When did she decide to be a mortician with her uncle? Are you a mortician?
Whoever it is pays good attention. Yeah. Yeah. I have to finish some stuff, the written schooling part. Studying mortuary science kind of happened because of how much I love my uncle. And he passed away about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And I had
sorry to hear that.
listen, I was a wreck. And it was the night that I had the show in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And they were giving me the key to the borough and everything. I mean, thank God for that night, or I really would have been a mess somewhere all night, because I pulled myself together, did the show, and went there. And it was really shocking, because it wasn't like he was sick or anything. And I just always had so much respect for him and the way he handled business, the way he made sure everybody was straight. He always, you know how every family almost has that one that just got it all, you know, but he was a hard worker. He started in the police force, and he was like, this ain't for me. And that funeral home, Gus Thornhill Funeral Home, has been there 47, 48 years.
Wow.
And so I started going there. I started sneaking in there about 2013. And he was like, you're going to have a hard time keeping this private, but I'll do whatever I can to help you do that, and to make sure you get the proper experience, and that you understand the level of dignity needed for this and what has to happen. And he was really hard on me, which I like. I think the best way to learn and acclimate yourself quickly to what needs to be done, how to speak to people when they're grieving, how to handle different things. I learned all of that from him. So, you know, I finally shared it. I just shared it last season. I let them see a very little bit, you know, and studying with my cousin and being there with all of my cousins, you know, his kids and Roderick, and just learning. And it takes me completely out of my element.
Yeah.
But it also is, I think I just like being there for people too, because that's a time where even a stranger just needs somebody to be patient, understand, listen. So I kind of, you know, I went in and just started studying there, and I even did overnights. I did overnights, I did pickups, I did the hospital runs, I did everything. I did every part of it that I could.
Pick up with dead people?
Yes.
Hi, Sway.
Hey, Sway. What's up? We were just talking about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, I did everything. I wanted to know every part of it. I didn't want what they call a star treatment. Don't skip me through the process. I did this from the ground up. I do that from the ground up.
Wow. Okay. That was Jill. Shout out to you, Jill. That was a great question. And Monica said that you are paying attention.
Yes.
Sheldon L. Butler. He wants to know, when is Monica getting her own movie?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? This is gonna sound very, very weird to some people. 50 probably scares most people, but when I put out Shoulda Known Better, he and I started communicating. And
you and 50 Cent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he really became like a brother to me. Right at Shoulda Known Better video shoot, because when we shot the video, the love interest in the video was signed to him.
I would have never thought you and 50 was cool. Like, got cool.
Why? I'm probably one of the few people that can handle.
Me too.
Listen, I told him one time, I was like, listen, let me tell you something. If I hear one song about me, it's gonna be a scene. Country, we country, but we bout it.
We bout
it.
it.
And he was like, I got you, Sunshine. I got you, Sunshine. That's where the whole nickname Sunshine came from.
He came here. He had run amok through entire Sirius XM. He came here and was like, this is the best time I ever had in my life.
I love him.
I love him.
And you know what? The way he loves his grandparents, there's a soft side of him that he only lets people. That's not by accident that he's only going to let certain people but so close, because people will try it out here. My super nice can get real nasty if you get out of line. So, but he keeps his at the forefront. There's a super nice behind that.
You gotta peel.
You gotta peel back layers, and there's a lot of smart there, a lot of intelligence that's not understood. Power is one of my favorite shows, but when I think of a movie, if it's like my life, when I think of Get Rich or Die Trying, that is the feel I would want it to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, the hair done, the makeup, the clothes, that Monica is what you've seen. The me before this that makes me the way that I am now, he would be somebody that I would be comfortable in sharing that with.
Wow.
Sharing some of the things that I saw, sharing what it was like to go through some of the stuff that when I first came out were things that they were like, okay, you can talk about things, but not that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the world we live in now. That's not the era we live in. So he would be the one person that if I did a movie, I would share that stuff with.
Thanks for sharing that with us here. I would have never thought that in a million years.
Really?
You went 50. No, because he's like to your point, he's a person that the image out front you would never think. And me and him had a ball. I was like, I'll talk to 50 anytime. It was easy. I see something else in him that maybe a lot of people don't see. To your point. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. Last question. Marsha Smith wants to know: have you ever considered modeling? Still now. I thought you used to model.
I
but,
did.
Okay.
I did, and it's no joke. It is no joke. They work hard. And I'm not afraid of hard work, but it's different than what I was accustomed to. My first experience was such a big one that I think I was a tad bit overwhelmed. I never let anybody see it. I was only about 16, 17, and Karl Lagerfeld saw me and was like,
"Damn, Chanel, Karl Lagerfeld."
Oh yeah, he took me there. My fittings in these amazing buildings and places, and he'll interlock hands with me. Let's go. And we go, and he never took his shades off. I never saw him without his shades and his hair perfectly in a ponytail. And he dressed me from head to toe, and we go to these events. And I worked hard. That was some serious work. I was very serious about it at that time. But then I had some real life-changing stuff take place when I was 18. That's when I witnessed the suicide, and then I lost my grandmother, and then I lost my cousin that I was closest to. She had an aneurysm. In her 20s. And so that year kind of derailed, me from the modeling on the scale that I was headed towards. And so I've never revisited it. But I enjoyed what I saw, and I learned a lot. That was a good lesson in punctuality and being able to move swiftly. When I change clothes in those 27 seconds it feel like back there, that all comes from that modeling, that world,
that experience that you
and
had.
Things are so weird now. I was telling them in the other room, they posted this, I think Shade Room posted a picture of me in a bathing suit, and this girl said I was built like a ruler. So I used it as ain't that some. So she said I was built like a ruler. She's like, oh, she's so skinny. She's built like a ruler. And I always tell my daughter, every moment is a teachable moment. But, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because what he saw was model, muse. But she thought I looked like a ruler.
Ain't that something?
It's in the eye of the beholder.
I gotta let Monica go. I'm so mad. Like, we could be here. And listen, I have to say this. I have to put this in the universe again. I love you.
I love you too.
You are my sister. Straight up. Like, you just my sister. You family. And whatever you need, because as time goes on.
And next time, don't put me on no vision board. Call me.
I know,
nah, I mean,
but we don't like to be a pain in the butt.
It's only 3 of us at my company, okay? We just getting started, okay? It's not that hard.
I got it, and the same here, but I just, out of respect, because I respect you and I love you so much too, and I was like, it'll happen. We are women of faith as well, so I was it'll come around. So thank you. I love you.
I love you
Whatever
too.
you need, I'm just here.
All right. Well, when this new single get ready to drop, I'm going to call you.
Bang, bang, bang. Monica in the happy hour. She coming back, and we're going to talk some more next time she's here. More happy hour coming up next on Fly.